there were so many unfinished stories, which is the nature of any kind of
so I suppose at least for Sasha and his family and his friends, there is some sort of punctuation, even if it feels kind of not that hopeful, but
it's also I mean, it's a brilliant film.
It was very good, wasn't it? I know. I'm so glad that I've known about it for such a long time, but there's so many things to watch, isn't there? But I'm really glad
I'm going to have to watch it again after having this conversation, because you've both highlighted
pulled out things that I hadn't really
spotted. I read your notes beforehand, Vicky, but then speaking to both of you now, I feel like there's so much more that I've missed. In that watching. I'm sorry, Angelita, you were just about to say something.
Yeah, I was just thinking because Sasha, like the beginning of the film is that meal that get together, and Sasha, of course, he's a journalist. He tells the stories, so he comes in at the beginning, and then is he telling a different story at the end of the film? Well, he comes in again, so he's the one. I can't say the truth bringer, but he's the story bringer, the one with that's what's going on in the outside world, and I'm bringing it to you to see. And I think I find him a totally different person at the end of the film than in the beginning. That's what makes the film very interesting as well. But he doesn't lose his sort of machoism. He stands on this great big heap of rubble, waving a flag and taking his mask off, of all things. And, because he's just got to do it, and he's got to have a selfie of himself with this flag. And he is like that. And in a way, when he comes back...
He's got a lot of main character energy, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. When he comes back in the last scene, he also has a story to tell, but I felt that was incredibly fragmented and you used the word, Philippa, but I can't remember. The very defiant. That was the word you used. And the others are influenced by that. Like, where is our journalist gone? Where's our storyteller gone? How do we go on? And I found that very interesting in terms of characters.
They weren't walking, were they, in that final scene? The first scene, there was quite a lot of interaction.
Yeah.
And in this one, they're all sitting there. Even he's quiet. It's like the images are speaking, not any of the characters, and they're all almost, their faces are kind of inscrutably still. But yeah, that's a really powerful observation, actually. And he is defiant. And I mean, taking that mask off so he can have his face sort of grinning in that picture. But there was also, in that defiance, there's also a kind of an acknowledgement of how dangerous that is. I think he was very aware in the film of that danger. And it was a really interesting ending. But I think just every single scene, there's so much to unpick. What's happening in the background, the use of music, the subtle sort of behaviors of every character, the setting of every scene. It's amazing that it's not a much more iconic film across the world, really, because it has the energy of something like Orson Welles or whatever. I enjoyed it much more than anything I've watched by Orson Welles. So don't get mad at me for saying that, but there was such a richness to the thought and the kind of artistic viewpoint of that film. I thought
it's a tremendous film. It is a shame. I mean, I guess it was just the circumstances, the moment at which it was made kind of doomed its greater what's the word, more people knowing about it, but also it's a double-edged thing, isn't it? Because that particular moment at which it was made allowed it to be made in the way it was made. Like,